So I've just given you the access to share your screen if you want to do
Oh,
that.
perfect. I was just wondering if I was going to be able to share my screen, and here we go. So there I am. Okay, well, I'm going to speak to you this evening about this morning about Okanagan College. I'm Gordon Schuster. I'm the manager of international recruitment for Okanagan College, and I manage the international marketing team. So we've had an interesting year. We've been dealing with COVID. So I just have to get to the right screen so that I can change slides. Here we go. So our winter classes have mostly been online. We do have some classes that are requiring face-to-face instruction following all the health and safety guidelines. We have a COVID response team in place. All of our services are also being delivered online in a timely fashion. We've been working from home since March 13th, 2020. For fall, our provincial health officer has deemed that we should go back to campus, and colleges and universities should be face-to-face as much as possible. So we are working on those plans right now. At the present time, we have about 100, just under 100 applications from all over the Philippines to join us this fall, and we have around 100 students from the Philippines with us right now internationally. I just want to give you a sense of what it's like here in the Okanagan. So I finished work today about 4:30, 5 o'clock local time, and went out for a walk. So this is what my afternoon was like before I came back to go online this evening or this morning for you. This is my neighborhood, which is about a 5 to 10 minute, well, this is about 10 minutes from the campus. So it's very nice, very quiet, warm, sunny, and bright. So we're enjoying a beautiful springtime. So Okanagan College, we're located in British Columbia, Canada. We have 4 campuses from the north, Salmon Arm, Vernon, Kelowna, and Penticton, our largest. We're about 1 hour by plane from Vancouver. And all of our campuses have international students and programs available. These are our 4 communities that we serve. Penticton in the far south. That is a city of about 50,000, campus about 1,000 students, just over 100 international. Vernon, right in the photo below it, is another city of about 50,000. That's an hour north of Kelowna. And that is also about 1,000 students, and we have about 100 international students there now. The bottom right of your screen is Salmon Arm. That's our smallest campus and our smallest community, about 25,000 people, about 800 students at the campus, and only about 10 international students there. It's a much smaller community, so it's not always where international students want to go, but sometimes they do because there is a program there. Our main campus is in the city of Kelowna, which is on the top right-hand part of your screen. And that is a city of about 180,000 people on the side of the lake you see. When you cross the lake to the other side of the bridge, we have another 60,000 people. So we have about 250,000 people in our area. It's very touristy, so it grows in the summer, although last summer with COVID, it was still busy, but not as busy as normal. And this summer, again, it will depend on how we get with COVID and vaccines and everything else, how busy we will be. But based on what I saw this evening, people are already here wanting to enjoy the beautiful weather that we have. Lots and lots of jobs, which I'll talk about in a moment. Our campus in Kelowna has about 5,000 students, about 800 or 900 international right now, but it will grow. We sometimes are about 20% of our students are international at that campus. So the Okanagan has a population of about 400,000 people, a lot of wineries, over 240 wineries, lots of technology jobs, over 630 technology companies. We're the 3rd largest metropolitan center in British Columbia, after Vancouver and Victoria. We've got more than 50 beaches. We've got beaches all over and lots of recreation year round. So of course, all of that creates jobs for students. Most students, when they arrive and start their studies, will have a part-time job very soon. There's jobs. Now, I always say that your first job is going to be probably in the service sector. So restaurant, grocery store, gas station, somewhere where you're working with the public. It always helps because you settle into the community and get to know the community through those means. We have over 130 different programs available. We have international students from about 60 different countries, probably a little bit more right now. I think last count we were 67 countries. We have over 10,000 full-time students at our 4 campuses and about 1,500 international. Our international number was about 1,800 pre-COVID. We dropped a little bit. A lot of students have already started their studies virtually in their home countries. And so more and more coming all the time. And certainly our interest for fall is very strong. A number of our programs are already full. Some of the things that we say are advantages to studying at Okanagan College: we have very affordable tuition, lots of transfer opportunities to universities, although I recognize that most of our students from the Philippines are looking at 2-year programs and the postgraduate work permit and hopefully permanent residency. I was listening to the presentation earlier, and there's never a guarantee, but our fingers are always crossed for you. We do have small class sizes virtually, and right now are face-to-face when we get back to that. Lots of access to your professors and very practical education. The skills that you learn in the classroom are directly related to the workplace so that it helps you to be able to get a good job. Admissions requirements. So the English requirement, we can skip over the secondary school English, the IELTS, the TOEFL, and the Duolingo. This is what's most, and the Okanagan College English for Academic Purposes program. The most important point for students from the Philippines: if you have completed a post-secondary degree and you have a letter from your post-secondary institution stating the medium of instruction was English, that will meet our English requirement. So most of our students from the Philippines meet the English requirement with their degree and their MOI letter. We have programs in business, computers, science, arts, health and social development, technologies, trades, food, wine, and tourism. Our Associate of Arts is a 2-year diploma. We call it an associate degree. You can major in economics, philosophy, psychology, sociology, anthropology, geography, history, or modern languages. This would transfer to a degree at another university, although in the case of most of our students from the Philippines who take this, they're looking at getting the credential, which allows them to apply for their postgraduate work permit. We also have an Associate of Science. Again, majors are the same as you'll get at most institutions: astronomy, biology, chemistry, computer science, earth and environmental science, geography, math, and statistics. Our most popular program is business. So in our School of Business, we have a 2-year diploma in business administration and a 4-year degree, Bachelor of Business Administration. Students can major in accounting, general studies, human resources management, financial services, management, marketing, or tourism and hospitality. Now, interestingly enough, if you already have a degree in business, you would not be able to take another diploma in business at Okanagan College, because we don't allow students to take the same learning they've done in the past. So we do have some post-baccalaureate diplomas for students who have taken business already. We have a post-baccalaureate diploma in accounting, another one in human resources management, marketing and data analytics. Now, right now, marketing and data analytics and human resources management are already full. Marketing, we only have very limited seats available, and accounting, we do have some seats available. For winter 2022, I always have to remember my years, we will have another program similar to the marketing and data analytics, and that will be in health analytics, so for the healthcare sector. I think it's medical analytics. I can't remember the exact name because the program is just getting completed so that we'll be able to advertise it very soon. So we do have a couple of the post-baccalaureates that will be available for the winter 2022 intake. We have a brand new, this fall, applied Bachelor of Arts program, and it's on community research and evaluation. So it's a 4-year degree that has direct pathway to UBC's Master of Social Work And students that graduate from this program, we have so many guaranteed seats right into UBCO's Master of Social Work, which isn't always what our students from the Philippines want, because they often want to work first and then maybe go back later. But with this 4-year applied Bachelor of Arts degree, if a student is interested in this, already has a degree from the Philippines, maybe in arts or another area, they may be able to get credit for up to the first 2 years. So they would take 2 years and complete the degree. So if you are interested in that, I would work with the agent, and then they would contact us and we could talk to the dean, looking at your credentials to see if we could get you into that particular program. We have specialized arts diplomas in subjects such as environmental studies, communications, culture and journalism, writing and publishing, international development, criminal and social justice, and a specialized program in animation. In health and social development, we have a 2-year diploma in kinesiology. We still have a few seats in that. Our human service worker and therapist assistant program are all full for fall 2021. We were able to get a second offering of early childhood education, and that is being offered at our Vernon campus. Right now, as of this morning, actually, we have a couple of seats left. So those are going very fast. We only started advertising this program about a month, just over a month ago, and we have almost filled it already, but we do have a couple of seats in that program at the present time. Computer Information Systems is another program that we offer as a 2-year diploma or 4-year degree, specializing in areas such as software design and development, database systems, and general studies. Our 2-year diploma is offered at both Vernon and Kelowna campuses, and the Kelowna campus is full, and we have very limited seats still available in Vernon. So anyone who is interested, I would get those applications in fairly quick. And I'll just add that with the Philippines right now and the visa processing times, if you are interested in fall 2021, I would encourage you to work with your agent and get your application in very, very soon, as time is running out. The clock is ticking. So there, if you're looking at winter, we will have offerings in arts, our arts programs, our science programs, and our business programs, and a couple of others. But programs like computer information systems are only a fall intake. Engineering technologies, of course, all of these are only a fall intake. We have civil, mechanical, electrical, water, infrastructure, and computing technology, and that one is pretty much full. And then we have sustainable building technology, which used to be called sustainable construction management technology. And that program is designed to help people to work in the field of building green or environmentally responsible buildings. We also have some skilled trades programs, and just because of COVID, some of the dates have changed. So our automotive collision repair and refinishing, that is going to be a January 2022 intake. Our automotive service technician is not until fall 2022. And aircraft maintenance technician is also fall 2022 when we will have the next opening. Those are all the 2-year diplomas. We also have a 1-year certificate in aircraft maintenance engineering. I always caution students when they're looking at programs to look at 2-year diplomas, because successful completion of a 2-year diploma provides eligibility for a postgraduate work permit of up to 3 years, whereas a 1-year certificate only provides up to 1 year postgraduate work. At the end of that, if you don't have enough points for immigration or not sponsored by an employer, technically you will be going home, and that's not what you want to invest your time, energy, and money into. Food, wine, and tourism, another area that's very popular. So because of COVID, we've had to change our intakes for this program. So our culinary management diploma and culinary arts certificate have both been moved to a winter 2022 intake. Those are both full. So we will begin accepting applications for fall 2022 on October 1st, 2020. So if you're interested in culinary management diploma, which is a 2-year program combining the culinary arts, the cooking part, and then the business courses, that one will be for fall 2022. If you're interested in only the cooking part, we do have 2 programs. We have a culinary arts certificate, which is 1 year, or pastry arts, which is also 1 year. And students will often look at doing both of those programs because the combination of 2 1-year certificates is the same as taking a diploma for your postgraduate work permit. You would be able to apply if you took both of them simultaneously and could then get a 3-year postgraduate work permit. During COVID, all of our services have been moved offline or online, if you will, virtually. So we still do all of our services virtually. We have our student service team, our education advisors. We have an immigration advisor, and he is available once you are a student. All of our free tutoring services, library services, counseling, recreation, all the fun stuff you want is still happening virtually, but it's in a different format. So we are very much looking forward to returning to campus, hopefully this fall, provided it's safe to do so. Accommodation, a lot of our students from the Philippines will have family here, so they'll look at family to stay with, or usually they don't do student residence or homestay. They usually look at private rental, and students will often find other students. Now that we have well over 100 students in the, or around 100 students in Kelowna from the Philippines, about 20 in both Vernon and Penticton. There's a small community in each of those of students. And it's, you know this as much as I do, the Filipino community takes care of their own. So students will look for other students to share accommodation. And so you'll find someone to maybe share a place with, unless you're bringing your family, and then you would look at private rental. We have been doing a lot of our events virtually, but during non-COVID times, we have a lot of activities, both on and off campus, because we recognize that besides going to school, working part-time, you need to have fun, get to know the community, get to be part of the community of students, but also the community, the larger community. So we do a lot of activities, both on and off campus, so you get to be part of the college and the community. And this is our marketing team, the people that I work with, my colleagues Petya, Louis, Jade, and Sakura all look after different markets. I look after Southeast Asia and the Middle East, so the Philippines is my market, but any of our marketers are here to help any of our students at any time. Jade is doing a presentation this evening. I guess he'll be doing it in about another hour, and he'll be doing that for students in India. So that wraps up my presentation. I was told to keep it about 20 minutes, and I think I went to 19 in a few seconds. So I think I've stayed on time, but I am happy to answer questions as well when the question and answer period does start.
Thanks, Gordon.
I hope I didn't go too fast.
No, it's okay. Perfect, actually. Okay,
Thank you.
I'm gonna share my video. You like my background? I'm
You're
inside.
in your car. I love it.
You know what? There's a power interruption in my place.
My colleague Sky had that today. He had to, his first meeting, he was using his cell phone, and then he moved luckily his parents live close by. So his wife and daughter went out because the power was out, and he went to his parents and spent the rest of the day in a virtual office there. It's sign of the times.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope you have a few minutes to answer some questions. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. We are going to answer questions. There are some questions sent via message in Facebook, and some are in the Q&A box. Okay, so Tin, do you have questions? Okay, let me check that. Okay, question about the IELTS. It's basically the question is, are all programs okay? The question is about this is for you, Gordon. Actually, is IELTS waived for all programs offered by Okanagan College?
Provided students from the Philippines have already taken post-secondary education in the Philippines and completed a program, as long as they have an MOI or a medium of instruction letter from their post-secondary institution stating the medium of instruction of English, then we waive the IELTS requirement.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Just another note is that we do accept Duolingo. So if someone does not have post-secondary and they go, oh, IELTS scares me, we are accepting Duolingo now, and the Duolingo score for most programs is a score of 105 or higher.
I see, I see. Okay. Okay, there's a question about the suggested program for nurses.
Okay, certainly. So for someone who's been working in the nursing field, often they want to stay in healthcare. So programs like therapist assistant, unfortunately it's full. Kinesiology, our diploma, still has a few seats. Sometimes nurses will choose to go into early childhood education. We have, I think, three of the applicants for our early childhood education program from the Philippines are nurses, another couple are school teachers. So early childhood education is certainly another one that you could look at. Also, some nurses take business programs, and I'll tell you why, because there's also jobs in the administration area. So if you take a business program and specialize in maybe human resources, you can hopefully find work in that field. Now, the other program that is coming online for, or when I say coming online, I should say will soon be available to apply for, and that's a 2-year diploma in analytics related to healthcare and medical records. So it's a lot of the computer, and so if you have the nursing background, but you also have some computer skills and or interest, that would be another area you could look at. So those are kind of the areas we recommend for those wanting to make the transition from nursing to another program.
All right, thank you. Perfect. Thanks, Gordon. I think it's a follow-up question regarding the IELTS for recently graduated from high school, grade 12. They need IELTS,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, so grade 12, you would need IELTS or Duolingo. I still say if you can write Duolingo or do the Duolingo, it's quick and easy. Usually 48 hours you have results and the score of 105 or higher. The nice thing about Duolingo is when you log on to the Duolingo site, before you actually take the test, which is about $49 US, you can actually do a practice test. And I did it myself to see if I could pass, and I thankfully did.
Did you?
Even though I'm a native English speaker, sometimes it's harder for us native English speakers because it's the style of questioning that you have to get used to.
Okay, good for you. All right. Okay, another question. I'm already 48 years old.
Mhm.
Do I still have a chance for PR? I think I addressed this earlier, but I'm going to answer that. I'm interested in sustainable building technology. Okay, so age is not a problem, right? Taking that program.
Age is not a problem. I always say when you're looking at age, and I'll give my own age just so I can put it in perspective. If I applied to come and study in Canada at my age, I'm over 55, I'm 56, probably I'm too old. If you still have enough of a working life left, and you have to look at it in terms of what the government is looking for when they will review an application, is they'll look at it in terms of if you're going to still have 10 or more years of working life, then it's probably okay. If you're getting closer to, I'm probably 3 years from retirement, maybe a little bit more, but not that many. So they'd look at me and say, well, you can't come to Canada because you're going to start working and retire right away. So at that age, you don't want to leave it too much longer, I would say, if you're 48, because you would graduate around 50, 51. So you want to get in while you can.
Okay, thanks, Gordon. I thought you're already only 55. Okay.
No, I had another one. COVID does that.
All right. So, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science graduate, is it okay to take associate in info systems?
So the program that I would recommend if you've got a degree in computer information systems, you would look at our uh, ICT because the name changed recently. It used to be Network and Telecommunications. It's now uh, in infrastructure and computer technology, ICT,
Mhm.
infrastructure and computer technology diploma.
Okay, thanks, Gordon. Okay, we have few more. Is the co-op part-time work experience considered as Canadian work experience? Unfortunately, it's not. Okay,
No.
for purposes of express entry application, it's not. Even for provincial nominee program, actually, it's not. But your part-time work experience while working, while studying,
Mhm.
actually, that is part of the Canadian work experience for purposes of provincial nominee program.
Correct.
But for express entry, it doesn't count.
No, a lot of students, if they're going into a new field, so if you were that nurse, then you were going to go into a computer program, you may want to do a co-op because then you get some relevant work experience in a brand new field. So that's, we don't get as many of our Filipino students doing the co-op work semesters because they often will have lots of work experience prior to coming to Canada. They get part-time work, so when they finish, they already have Canadian work experience. So not as important, but again, it depends on the situation.
Okay, this.
And the other thing
I
with
sorry. Go ahead.
co-op work is that you don't have to make your decision before you start. You can, in your first year, you can say, you know what, I do want to do co-op while I'm here. So then it can be arranged, provided it's available in the program you're in.
Thanks, Gordon. So this question is from one of our clients who is actually already got the letter of acceptance from Okanagan. The question is about when to choose for the subjects she meant courses. She's taking the
Okay,
September intake. So when can she
right.
select courses?
So those courses will be selected. So you'll get what we call a time ticket. You'll be, depending on your program, if you're in a business, arts, or science ed program where it's not everybody doing the same thing. So if you're in something like early childhood education, everybody takes the same subjects. If you're in business, then you would be selecting your own courses, and that is usually in early July, and you'll be getting an email that we call it a CRM. You'll get that to tell you when you are to register. And if you're having trouble, we always recommend setting up an appointment with one of our education advisors to help you with that.
Okay, thanks, Gordon. Another question is as a graduate of criminology here in the
Mhm.
Philippines, suggested program. Is it
So
okay to take hotel and management program related?
for sure is the I always say to students, what you want to be able to do is when you're justifying it in your study permit application, why are you making the transition? Why does it make sense? So depending on your program, so we had somebody from the Philippines recently who was actually a police officer, but their degree was not in criminology. But then they decided to do our program, which is a 2-year diploma in criminal and social justice, which is a program that a lot of students take in order to work in the prison system or with people who are transitioning from maybe being what we call incarcerated, so in jail, back to the community. So you learn about all of that part of it and the social justice part of the system. So that might be one option. And again, the tourism could be another one. So it would be business administration with a specialization in tourism. When students take business administration, they don't have to pick their specialty until they start studying. So, and even if at the beginning you say, I'm going to do marketing, at the end you may change after the first semester and say, you know what, I don't really like the marketing. I might do human resources. That's okay.
Okay, thanks, Gordon. Actually, another consideration in choosing your program is not only your previous education, you also need to consider your work experience. and your overall career plan. So practically speaking, you can take any program that you want as long as you can make a justification. You can make a strong presentation that there is a logical career pathway for the program that you are choosing. So I think that's the way to do it. By the way,
Correct.
our two students who took a journalism related program, they already get the invitation,
Mhm.
right? So they are now 6 months
Excellent.
closer to being permanent. They are the first two students that we sent you actually. So they are now, and the
That's
other
great.
and the other two nurses, they will be applying under the temporary public policy because they got the eligibility requirement. They are both employed. Initially, they were just waiting for the 1 year experience, but with the temporary public policy, they will be filing for their application come May 6th. So that's really good news for them. All right. Okay. There's another question. I'm a hotel and restaurant administration graduate. Will I get same field or can I get other courses in its program? Yeah, like this is related to the question earlier. So practically, you can take any program that you want. You need to consider your previous training, your previous your work experiences, and your overall career plan. So you can take graduate programs or any related program. It doesn't really matter as long as you can justify. Case in point, I have a, medical technology graduate in the Philippines working. She's a registered medtech, working in the laboratories for several years. She was able to get a student visa. Her program has something to do with hospitality and tourism management. So those are two poles apart. How was she able to justify it? So, however, in the letter we said, in the first place, I don't want to be a med tech. I just granted the wish of my parents, who are both physicians. What I really wanted to do is that I want to manage our business. They have a resort, right? So
Right.
that makes sense. So she was able to get the visa. So ultimately, it's how you make a justification, how you make your case. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So let me see if there are more questions. Mhm. Okay. Do you offer a 1+1 programs? What are the programs available for 1+1?
We don't have any, nothing that I can think of as 1+1. We have more in the 2+2. So students who have done sometimes can get credits for some of their business studies and go into the Bachelor of Business Administration. Uh, so it's a 2+2. We don't have 1+1s.
All right. Thanks. Okay. I think we've answered pretty much all the questions. Maybe you have some closing remarks you want to tell our guests, our viewers from Facebook.
Well, I would just like to say how what a pleasure it's been working with your entire team. You have been our top agent for the Philippines for a few years, and all of the students you've sent us have done very well, and we've had graduates, as you've mentioned, and so we've had good success as a result of working with you. But our success is really in how our students do. And when I go out and I see our students in the community, not so much right now because we don't go out much, but it is very heartwarming to see the results that our students are getting, and that that they're doing well, they're becoming part of the community, and they're thriving in Canada. And I know it's never easy. It was funny because today I was in a meeting with a student, actually a Filipino student who's living in Kuwait and has been doing virtual, and he was just doing some final work on his uh, study permit application. And I said, well, it was funny. Today I was just looking up some records in my own family, and it was just about 97 years ago, it'll be one in another week, that my
Mm,
grandfather immigrated to Canada. And so,
wow.
when someone is looking at Canada, you're often looking at it not only for yourself, but more as a future for the next generation and generation. So,
Exactly.
and I know that that is the case with a lot of our students from the Philippines. We do have some that are younger. Their parents have sent them, and in other cases, they're maybe families that are, the parent is looking at coming over so that their children have a better life. So certainly we welcome everyone and we wish you luck and look forward to welcoming you. And I look forward to seeing all of you and your team
Yeah,
when I finally can travel again, maybe
yeah,
early in 2022.
yeah.
With fingers
Hopefully,
crossed.
or
Yeah,
maybe I'll visit you again in Kelowna. I really love
absolutely.
Kelowna.
That would be wonderful. I would like that very much.
Oh yeah, last time I visited you weren't there. It's Petra
I
and
wasn't there when you were
yeah,
last here. No.
yeah. Petra, the other girl, what's her name? Petra.
Pecha?
Yeah, Petra, and
Pecha.
yeah, and the other one,
It might have been Melanie, or was it Stephanie?
Stephanie. She's no
Stephanie.
longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stephanie is now working at University of British Columbia, but Pecha is still
Oh,
with us. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Still see her, but we work in
Yeah,
different
yeah.
institutions now.
Really
Yeah.
sweet girls, actually. Anyway, so
Absolutely.
I think that is. Thank you very much for your time. I know time difference is really a challenge for you, and really appreciate you
Not a problem. I
finding
appreciate
time.
being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. Well, I will log out, but I'm certainly available whenever you need me.
All right.
Hopefully.
Thank you, Gordon.
Okay.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye. Thank you. And for those of you who are actually planning to apply for a student visa, you just need to visit gatewaytocanada.com. All the information is in there. You want to talk with us, book an appointment, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Bye for now. Thank you. Ingat po tayong lahat.